screen. Okay, we're live.
Sam
We're
did tell me.
we're live.
Technical difficulties and everything have been resolved.
I've
Sam told me that he does listen to this.
yeah. Well, there was that one time, I don't know if he told you about in the last one, where when I swapped over from the video to the audio, and that sounded kind of bad.
Oh
But I
no.
made sure but it's important. I went on Discord and I made sure that I didn't have any like identifying
Settings. Like,
information or like no, we didn't get docs. I didn't dox us.
oh,
Like
I see, I
now people
see.
know I have like a mildly like internet lame group chat I'm in,
Name. Okay.
but
Okay, I
that's about
understand.
it, and that's fine.
Oh, I'm glad we're figuring all of this out, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Well,
I'm
and
glad
again,
we are.
now it's only audio, so they gotta stare at a black screen, and by stare I mean hopefully I do something else. I don't know.
Exactly.
Hi Sam.
No, you're
Hi
100%.
Sam. This one's for you.
Sam's sitting in our living room currently. Had a rough class day.
That sucks.
His business comm students are pretty bad.
Mm.
One of them did a presentation about the Pete Hesketh, the war
Pete
person
Hegseth.
for the US.
Hegseth
Yeah,
is the pronunciation.
Hexeth. Hexeth. Yeah, that guy. That
Yeah.
guy. One of his students was like, "Yeah, this is someone who's in the business
He's
area who's doing
he's
well."
still based.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like,
messy.
and this is
Sam's feeling it.
the word, right? Like, you know what? I'm sure he's making a lot of money on insider trading right now.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of money.
So,
It's just
isn't
like
that good in business?
garbage. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Odyssey. I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, I wish he was bad in business.
I no,
Let's talk
I
about our
wish you were
boy
bad in business too,
Business.
but just like well,
Let's talk about our boy Odysseus, who
Odysseus,
is
he's not bad at
also
business. He's good at everything. And let no man's ever gonna throw a disc as far as my man Odysseus.
no, truly. I went through and did underline more in book seven
Okay,
than, or wait, are we on book eight?
we did
Book
7 and 8.
six, then eight.
7 is the
We did.
one where
He
he
meets
like
the king and
he
queen.
gets friends with the kings, and book eight's where
They basically talk shit about our guy in front of
oh
him.
I didn't talk shit about him.
No, it's not talking
They said
shit,
how
but
cool
like
and awesome he was, but he was really sad about it because it meant he was remembering. And also,
everything.
it has my favorite line. Okay, I wanna complain about something about a coworker
Yeah, yeah,
who I won't name very briefly, because he said something
yeah,
along the
yeah.
lines of because he's doing this project where he's watching a lot of old movies in short, and he's watching this movie from the 50s or 60s, I don't remember, and he's like, this is the time where like he was calling it this movie Oscar bait, like because because about the
Oh,
entertainment industry, he said, and I just don't want to have and this is because there's like enough people that they're engaging with him, and I'm not because I'm doing my own thing, but I can't
yeah.
not hear him. It's impossible for me to not hear him, and in my mind I'm like, newsflash, asshole, they've been doing that for like 500 years at least, you know.
Yeah.
And what I didn't have was this quote from Homer, from Mr. Homie. Oh, where
Mr.
is it?
Homie.
Um, lines somewhere between 470 and 480, page 236. Go take this meat and give it to oh god, Demodocus, who's the blind poet.
Yeah.
Despite my grief, I would be glad to meet him. Poets are honored by all those who live on earth. The muse has taught him how to sing. She loves the race of poets. Wrote Homer. That Homer wrote that one. No one knows what his job is.
Homer said,
He said,
let me
"Look,
just say
Odysseus is the
something about my
coolest guy ever.
profession.
He's the coolest guy ever, and he also just happens to think that like the work I do is really important and cool."
Really, really cool. Yeah. Um,
Do you think, right when it was sung, when Homer was singing this shit, he like this one got a big laugh? Is this a joke?
oh, that's a good point. Like, would this have gotten a chuckle from the audience? Like, would they have been aware, like,
Would he have
this
been like,
is,
yeah, you know how the poets are,
would they have been aware of the meta conversation about that line?
or were they just yeah, he's
Get
right.
to the rest.
Like obviously jokes are propaganda, if you will, but like
Mhm.
was this a joke or was this propaganda? That's what I mean, and it's impossible to know. It's impossible to know
It really is.
But it did make me laugh. So so there's that.
Um, it makes me think of like wanting the Magic Tree House, but I just want to go back and sit by a campfire when this was being told, or in the marketplace. Like,
And
you know what I'm
and it
saying? Like
had to be the
the
Magic Tree
market.
House. It couldn't be like a different way to travel through time, specifically the tree house
No,
for
I
children.
I think it would be funny for us to have Merlin transport us back
I thought that
to
was wait,
ancient
okay.
Greece.
This is how long it's been. I thought it was Morgana.
No, I could have sworn it was
Was
Merlin.
it wait, hold on. My brain was it both of them? Like did it change?
It might have been
Did it like
both.
swap halfway through the
I don't
series?
remember everything all too well. I'm distinctly remembering from like their times in Camelot,
Yeah.
the Camelot books.
Okay. I'm not gonna. I've decided to not look this up. I've decided
Yeah,
to.
we're gonna put a pin in it.
I think we're not putting a pin in it. We're letting it flutter to the wind, just like my man
Yep, yep.
Odysseus.
Yes, yes. Okay. So I thought this was interesting. I was
Mhm.
again, I was talking to my advisor today, and I was mentioning that this was something that was I was looking forward to and considering as part of my relaxed time.
Yeah.
Um, and was just like, yeah, like I'm so shocked that this book was not written in or like told in first POV. And my advisor goes, that's such a TikTok thing to say. Like
Uh,
people saying they can't read anything that's third person. It has to be first person. I'm like, but I can read third person. That's the thing. I think I've just read too many retellings. So by the time I got to an original text, I'm like, huh, fascinating.
um, I
Fascinating.
texted this to you and it hasn't come up yet. I haven't felt the need, but I've always looked at, or like I've always kind of like when we are having these conversations, I look off because like it is true that I have a copy of Fitzgerald's
I
translation.
know.
If it ever comes up where we want to do a little bit of like actual comparison, um, I didn't feel I haven't felt the need. There hasn't been anything I've on my own gone. I really wonder what someone else said for that line,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I just want to.
I think I sent you that
Yeah,
video
no, that's why we were. That's why I
where
texted
you,
you about it. That
yeah.
I wanted to. So I didn't like I didn't not. Okay, the thing about the video was
I didn't think the video was the best.
I didn't.
We can start there.
Okay, the video
Wasn't our favorite.
not my favorite. And one of the things I didn't like is I felt like it. And I'm not here to defend the honor of what's his first name? I can't tell. Robert. It looks like a Robert from here. It's hard to
Oh
see.
yeah, Robert
Robert.
Fitzgerald.
I'm not here to defend the honor of Robert Fitzgerald and any misogyny he may or may not have engaged in, but the video
This is true.
made me think that he was always calling the slave girls whores instead of like in one specific.
Yeah.
So I needed because of that I went and checked and no, obviously that's and then I don't think that's what the video was saying. I just feel like it was at best poorly framed. And it's also
Yes.
like
It's such
again
a
it just
short
it
video.
implied I hate videos like this where it implies it's like I'm not saying that Emily Wilson doesn't have a better translation or whatever. I'm not saying that her lived experiences as a woman haven't helped that, but like I hate the implication that only a woman could have done this.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I don't know. Just the font choice in that book makes it look like it was written by somebody who has what could very charitably be called controversial opinions on ethnic minorities. You know the type of book I'm talking about.
I do. I do. I think my pen ink is stuck. That's
Your
sad.
pen?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to ask Sam to take a look at it. I think it's not flow. I think it dried out.
Oh, do you have like a nice pen? Like it's not just like a pen? That was a stupid sentence.
It's like a fountain pen,
Oh, okay, got it.
but I think the pen I have, like the ink dried out in there because of how hot it's been. I'll have
That's
to have
fair.
Sam take a look.
Um.
Yeah.
So here's my question. Here's what I was wondering. I'm
Yes,
gonna be
yes.
honest. The book 7 was kind of whatever.
Meh.
It just
Yeah.
like it happened.
It
It
was there.
it moved things forward. The games when they were gaming. See, now we're talking. Now we're talking about things that are
This is
interesting.
true.
Um, again, Athena there being just being my man's biggest homie in the
Li-
world. But
Literally, she is literally doing nothing else right now.
she's
No
like,
other,
you
like,
got
Odysseus is her
you got
favorite
like a
human.
job or something, girl? What's up?
Yeah, like, are there no other wars right now?
Are there
Like, what's
no
going
other
on?
wars? I guess not. Well, like, it was a big one.
It was a big one.
Oh shoot, what did I actually want to ask? Here it is. Here it is. So, um, the noble son, um,
Yes.
uh, your Euryalus, Euray,
Hmm.
Euryalus is how I'm gonna pronounce it.
I do love you trying to commit to the names because I have not.
It's like one of those things where it's like when I read it, it just is like the blocks of letters, but
Yeah.
um, right? Because he's like, "Hey, play our games, boy," and quote the line, I don't know, like this was like 153, page 225. Odysseus thought carefully. He had a plan. He answered, "Why mock me with a challenge?" Blah blah blah, and then he gets baited instantly. What plan? What was his plan there? Was his plan to
That he
get
got
baited?
baited
Did he
instantly.
bait? Did he double bait? Like, did he bait him to taunt him so he could show off how cool
Wait,
and
what
epic
line
he
did
was?
you say?
Huh?
What?
So 153 is Odysseus thought carefully. He had a plan. He answered,
About it. Oh,
Laodamus,
yes, yes.
I mock me with this challenge. My heart is set on sorrow. Blah blah blah. Um, Euryalus responded with outright taunting, "Stranger, I suppose you must be ignorant of all athletics. You are no athlete."
Oh,
With a scowl, Odysseus answered, "What crazy arrogance from you, you stranger!" And then he says his shit.
yeah,
And
he goes on about his own prowess.
so I'm just like, was his plan to get mad? Was that his plan?
Yeah. I don't know what's happening here. Like, I don't know what the intention is of this plan, you know?
That's what I was
And
wondering.
I
I was
think
wondering
it's
if you
messy.
had
I
any
think
insight.
Odysseus has not been interacting with regular people in a very long time.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
I think that could be chief among them. Because I'm just like, maybe this would work with like a god or a child of a god, where like you need to play up like this, and where it almost feels like very like staged and like pomp and circumstance for the sake of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, do regular people do this too? And then to kind of leave off on the, oh, I have a friend here. Like, so you wanted to be baited in order to show off.
It feels
But
like that, but
you were wanting to find an excuse to show off and be like, oh, no, 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 my shit don't stink. It's
whatever.
interesting.
I mean,
It's
that's true.
interesting.
I don't know. The other thing, I don't know. It was strange.
I agree.
I
I agree.
I also think it's funny that right, he says you none of Athena says you won this round. None of them will ever throw further or as far. And then he says try asshole. He goes, I dare you
Do
though.
it. He goes, why don't you, do it?
That's kind of my guy now. Here's the other thing in terms of mythos. What's your opinions? What do you
Yeah.
know about the muse? Singular.
I don't know much about the muse singular. I know about the muses, but that again, a lot of it is from secondhand or third like retellings.
Yeah.
Um, I think I've read Ovid, but I don't think I've read anything with the muses
See,
specific.
my
I've
memory
read
is that
something
there's
like the muses sing again. I'm trying to
well,
remember.
my memory is there's like 12 of them, and they all care
Yes,
about
there
different
is.
things of art. But this text is not,
Like
and they
harmony
all have
and
different
beauty
names
and
and
shit
shit.
like that.
But this is
Yeah.
just like the muse to the one. There's only the one.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. What I'm thinking of right now
Yeah.
is Wake Siren Ovid Resung by
Okay.
Nina McLaughlin, which looks at the women of Ovid's
Okay.
metamorphoses,
Eh,
which I think the muses show up in there, but
Well,
not too much, I guess.
to go back to our conversation about women and the importance or
Yes.
whatever, it's like, or, gosh, there was a. I'm trying to remember the article or the author or whatever.
Yeah.
This is gonna become relevant in a second about a totally
Hmm.
different myth, which is Medusa. You've heard of her?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason the
Yeah.
Gorgons is like the article was something along the lines of there really are there was always gonna be three of them, and the other two aren't characters. It's just that there must be two of them. The
Yeah.
Tunis is like a one
Hmm.
character, and I wonder that in relation to the muses of 12, if it's 12. You know,
Sam's
um,
saying bye right now. He's going to the
bye,
gym.
bye,
Bye.
Sam.
Ah, Sam's gonna
Oh,
hear
he's
himself
gonna hear
in the
himself.
podcast
He
later.
loves that.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Guppy.
Um, and so I wonder if like that's a intentional, not intentional. And I also just wonder if like it's a a regional thing. Oh, over in Athens
Mm-hmm.
we have 12 muses, but where Homer's writing, they only got the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I that is interesting too to think about that, like the overtime. There's a video I have saved. I haven't watched it today. I just added it to my watch later, which is like the timeline of of ancient Greece.
Sure.
So like putting in place like where does Homer feature in and how like other works.
Yeah.
Because I think there's this sense of like conflation that all of these things are springing up at the same time, but it's really over like 1,000 or more period of time
Yeah.
that these stories are being told and written down. Like Homer wasn't written down for like a long time later
Yeah. Absolutely. Right.
because it was an oral like epic poem
He
that
was
was told
he
and
was
probably like
singing his
chat in these
shit.
books.
He was singing
Yeah,
his shit.
I can't imagine hearing book 7 and then waiting a week to hear book 8.
Well, okay, so that's the real thing. I can't imagine hearing book 8 and then waiting a week for book 9 because it's literally him
Yeah.
replying. And this is one of the things I wonder. It's just like we have these as books. Someone wrote them down. Someone
Yeah.
decided to write it this way. But that doesn't mean that those
Mhm.
are the breaks that Homer or the original
Would have
author was supposed to
intended.
write. Yeah.
Yes. Ah, I love the fact that we're able to talk about this, like the presentation of it and how it would have been heard
Yeah.
or like experienced. Because and now I really do. I wish I could just like a brief moment of time to like how would this have been replicate. I almost now want to go to like Homer in the park because people will do Shakespeare in the
Yeah.
park. I want to do Homer in the park and just be like, how would the can we recreate
Well, so
what
this
this would have been like?
So what's interesting, right? And this is
Mhm.
it's well known. As I said, my history with a lot of stuff is with the plays. And the plays were all sung,
Yeah.
but we don't. No one performs them that way, and I don't think. And part of that, I'm sure, has to do with like translating into
Mhm.
it being like a scannable piece seems difficult at best.
Yeah.
And also like we don't have that music, or at least most of it. Um, but it's just I don't know. It, in the same way, it's like I am interested in the fact of it having to become prose, or
Yes.
I guess that's a play, so it's not exactly prose, but you get the idea I'm saying.
Hmm.
What I'm noticing, I guess, is can I say something maybe controversial between us?
Sure.
Where's my boy Telemachus? Where's he gone?
Okay.
I'm
You know
getting.
what?
Hold
I
on, hold on.
was
I'm
kind of
getting
being
a
like,
phone call.
yes.
Hello. Okay, sorry about that.
You're good.
I that was a place I had applied to live, but so they got back to me and they're like,
Mhm.
and I'm like, well, that is more than you said it was before, and so I said, give me till Friday to
Yeah.
give you an answer one way or the other.
Think on it, reflect. Yeah.
And also, like, because I have another application now, and if that one gets back and is at the price it says, then I'm gonna turn this place down because it's like, well, because the rent will be cheaper. And it will be bigger.
No, 100%. Oh yeah. Fingers crossed for the other place then.
But let's talk about Odysseus. What were we saying? I'm sorry that I've totally forgotten.
No, it's completely okay. Trying to remember. Oh, you had such controversial opinion for us. Where's
Where's my boy
Telemachus?
Telemachus?
Where's Telemachus?
And
Yeah, I was thinking about this of like we've completely shifted like we've turned the globe, if that makes sense. Not like
Yeah.
really, but like
I know what you're
where
saying.
the focus is, we've
Look, if
completely
you think
moved
about if you
elsewhere.
think about the ancient Greek globe, we did turn it because it's like not so big.
It's only so big. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
one
no,
T.
I genuinely am thinking about that of like, oh, where the fuck are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Also, I will say because
I don't
I
know.
said before about the flipping or like I can't imagine waiting for book 9, especially because I said is that really where it ends, and I flipped the page to book 9, and you know how you read stuff
It
without
picks
reading.
right back up. Yeah.
Finally, Odysseus, the Lord of Lies, it opens.
Ooh. Oh. Oh.
So I'm I'll say I'm a little excited for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. That's for later, I guess. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I have much more to say on this part.
I know it's an in-between part.
Yeah.
I think it's shorter, but it's carrying us forward to a lot of big things. I don't know where we go from it. Every single time I turn the page to the next thing, I have no idea what we're getting.
Yeah. Right. Our
If that
next
makes sense.
books are called Pirate in a Shepherd's Cave and The Winds and the Witch, and it's like that could be anything.
Yeah, that could literally be anything. Oh goodness, I have no idea. I wonder, like, do does Odysseus and Penelope reuniting happen at the end?
That's
When
gonna
does that
my
happen?
knowledge is like that's not gonna mean like he's not gonna get back until like the last 6 books or so, and then he's gonna like they're gonna.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's gonna be a while.
So this
It's
is him
definitely gonna be a
still
while.
trying to get back is the craziest thing to me.
Isn't that the whole? It's called the Odyssey. He's still
I see,
Odysseying.
but like we're only tuning into the last 3 months of his missing,
Yeah.
or the last like
Well,
year.
I think we're about to hear about maybe year 1.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. It is setting it up to like Odysseus tells his
Yeah,
tale.
or at least some of it.
Yeah. Okay. I just gotta hang in there.
Just gotta hang in there.
Just gotta hang in there.
All right. Then I think that's all we have. Unless you have anything else.
I think that's a I think there was like one section I have marked.
Okay. Yeah.
Let
I'd
me
love to hear it. I don't want to be
I
rushing you
think
or anything. I just.
no, 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 no. Um, I think primarily the sections that I thought were interesting was the way that Athena is showing up in the text still.
Oh,
Like,
that was part of the where's my boy Telemachus is like. I mean, right? Because she was all up on him. I shouldn't say it like that.
mm-hmm.
But like
No, but you're right.
now he's all alone.
Yeah, and like the goddess here serves it acts in a different way, or at least is described actions are different.
Yeah.
Like Athena's eyes twinkle when she's talking like here versus with Telemachus, like she's kind of like telling him exactly what to do.
Yeah.
So there's almost like a levity that Athena gets to
She
have with
likes this
Odysseus.
guy. Telemachus, she's like,
Yeah, she
I
likes
guess I
this
gotta deal
guy.
with him, but I like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So it's just interesting.
What do you? Oh wait, you know what? Let's talk about feminism.
Yeah.
What do we think of the cuck
Oh,
story?
the cut. Oh, I feel like I that went over my
What
head.
do you mean? What do you mean? Whenever the poet does the whole myth or what the whole story about Ares and
Oh,
Aphrodite getting
yes.
cucked by.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about something with
Oh
Odysseus,
no
like him getting cucked by Penelope or something
no
like
no
that. And I was just like, what?
no.
Um, I mean,
That's why I said
the
speaking of
Ares
feminism.
Aphrodite, yeah, the Ares Aphrodite of it all and her Festus. Like, it's
I don't
always
know
an
what to tell
interesting
you.
story to me. It's always an interesting story to me because I'm kind of like, what does it mean for like a woman who is forced into a marriage by the way like that is
Yeah.
understood to then seek love elsewhere? And I'm like, can they divorce? Probably not.
But
And
he
it's
wants
just real fucked up.
the bride price back.
Yes.
And that's by the way,
Yes.
so while I've heard this story, I mean
Yeah.
we both read Percy Jackson, and this story gets
Yeah,
mentioned
we've both read.
in Percy Jackson, book
Yes.
1, I believe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
I had not heard this
Because there's
part
the
before.
yes.
The give me my money back. Give me my
Yeah.
transaction back.
Yeah, no, very much.
And I don't know what I think is interesting is the way like don't get me wrong, right? There's this he humiliates them both or whatever, and then Hermes says, "Oh, I'd still do it. I'd still hit that." But then like she leaves sweetly. I think the word used is sweetly, and it doesn't feel like it feels like there's very little. Not even that she doesn't have agency, but that everyone's like, yeah, it's what Aphrodite doing what Aphrodite doing. Ares is the real character here. This is about Ares and Hephaestus.
No, you are right. Like, there is an understanding of Aphrodite as the goddess of love is, gonna do what she's gonna do, and there's kind of like
she's gonna do who she's gonna do.
She's gonna do who she's gonna do, and I felt that like the shifting of emphasis was unique because it doesn't necessarily like slut shame Aphrodite, to use modern like language around this. It doesn't like make her lesser for pursuing this romantic sexual love elsewhere. But it also at the same time completely dismisses much of anything by shifting it onto the bride price and with Ares and Hephaestus, as if Aphrodite was a thing between the two of them. Like literally a thing, like not even a goddess, a human, a being upon herself. Does this make sense?
No,
It's
I hear what you're saying. I also think that one of the things that was interesting is when we were talking about when Homer was talking about Odysseus and Calypso, he said what he said euphemistically, but he just said sex. They went and had sex. Whoa! I didn't know you knew that word, Homer. I didn't know you were cool like that.
Oh. Yeah.
Which is to say, I wonder what it is about Aphrodite or Ares or Hephaestus or whatever that elicits that sort of more direct language that doesn't exist for Odysseus. Our good boy, our goodest boy.
And I do wonder too, something here, thinking about all the myths and how we often get things like that, how like saying things like, oh, she's as beautiful as Aphrodite and stuff like that, the gods get angered by that. And so there's almost a more directness if you had just said, oh, she's just beautiful.
Yeah,
so like there is like a stripped backness to the story of Ares, Hephaestus, and Aphrodite. Like it is so much more direct. And I think that could be speaking to like thinking about Homer at this time. Would Homer have believed in the gods?
Yeah.
Like their presence?
Yeah.
And then thinking about how do you write then about the gods and just kind of like being direct about their things. Like maybe that's why there's such a reverence to Aphrodite's choices, if we will. Of like, she's Aphrodite, we can't say anything of her. Her fellow gods can, but we mortals cannot. So I think that is interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, because of that, I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that in here. So, this has been an interesting one.
Yeah.
A lot of form, a lot of like the representation of like, oh, what was our dude Homer thinking?
What was this guy on about?
Yeah, like, and also too, was Homer just like spitballing off the top of his head, or was he like, did he have notes at one point?
Did he? Yeah, and I mean that's the thing, right? Like, does this, how many times does this get told before it got written? And the answer is a lot. But
that's a lot, yeah. Like, did he have like a group of like? I'm thinking of like the newsboys and like the runners who would like deliver the mail and stuff like that. Like, where like did he just have a fleet of people who were just like, okay, give us the deets, we will disperse,
details.
Yeah, like how was the? God, I'm just so fascinated. I wish I knew more of this, and maybe I'll do a deep dive and be like, is there a scholar out there who has theorized about the very way that Homer would have been experienced?
I don't doubt that.
Like Homer's stories. I don't doubt it. There
Greek,
most definitely is.
Especially in Greek, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially it's probably in Greek, and I need to learn Greek to read it.
Okay. All right.
Damn.
Okay. I'm saying that's the end this time for real. I think.
For reals.
Okay.
Goodbye, Dre.